Hey everyone, today we are focusing on the first part of our new two-part discussion about autistic people struggling with being in relationships. Before we start, make sure to rate the podcast as it would help in getting me discovered. And remember that this podcast is also premiering on YouTube and available on Apple Podcasts. Let's begin today's episode. Relationships is probably the biggest struggle for every autistic person right now. Because in relationships, you have a commitment to the person you're dating or in love with. For average people, that can sometimes be easy. Autistic people, it's a lot tricky. Let me share some examples with you on why it's tricky. First, there's the difficulty of finding someone who not only will love you, but will understand your condition. Having someone who has both is just impossible to achieve. And then there's the part where whether anybody would like you enough to want to date. As a guy with autism, the majority of girls just see me as just a friend, or worst case scenario, will see me as just a problem or someone they can bully, hurt, or upset. Which could be painful when you're autistic, because you could be very attracted to them only to be pushed away, used by them so they can find someone better than you, or even share private discussions with their friends just to embarrass you. It doesn't stop there, because the next struggle in trying to find a relationship as an autistic person is whether they are committed to find time for you. Most will tell autistic people that they always have time for you, but some will either lie or just leave you hanging for days, weeks, months, maybe even years for a response. You try and try to arrange to see them, but time after time keep getting disappointed. The final struggle for finding relationships for autistic people is getting noticed. It's possible that there's some autistic people right now who probably have dreams of being with someone, but there's no one out there who thinks they're attractive or worth being a lover. Of course, there's people with autism who do prefer to be single, but there are some who don't. So the question is, why is it so difficult for autistic people to be in a relationship? It's mostly due to differences in communication, sensitivity, or a need to have a routine and challenges with emotional expression. Also, with how autistic people's minds work, it can be difficult to be able to read each other's thoughts. If autistic people want to go on dates, how should they go about it? If you're an autistic man, woman, or someone who's interested in an autistic person to date, it's important you focus on clear communication, have shared interests with something, and find a sensitive, friendly environment to meet. Make sure when you want to ask an autistic person out, be direct by saying I would like to go on a date with you. Will state your intentions loud and clear. When planning a date with an autistic person, you have to choose a quiet, comfortable, and familiar place to go. Make sure to actually plan the date and not just have a conversation about it. Trying to keep the date short, as it would reduce the pressure as it leaves the door open for future dates should things go well. Autistic people can use soft disclosures when being on a date for the first time. Make sure to let them know that you have trouble making eye contact or need communication to be direct will go a long way. When it comes to the communication side of dating, info dumping is a way to connect with an autism person, as you can share details with a special interest in forms of text, email, or written note will work best. Other ways for a successful and happy relationship with an autistic person is to have patience, as taking things slow will make people with autism feel comfortable. And then most importantly, let autistic people set clear expectations about their needs and feelings, as neurotypical assumptions don't get picked up. These are some of the ways that will help autistic people in dating and being in relationship with someone. The difficulties with finding a relationship with people with autism are real. I'm unfortunately one of those autistic people in the last few years that had to face most of the struggles I've outlined. I do have my friends telling me I'll find my special someone and there's someone for everyone. But I find it harder and harder to believe when I get rejected a lot more because I'm different to the average person. For any autistic person who's on the same boat as me, the only real advice I can give is keep being yourself. Maybe one day we'll find someone who will hold us, love us, and most importantly, be our special ones. Next week will be part 2 of our conversation about autism as a relationship, where we'll look at how autistic people already in relationships cope and how different it is for autistic people to be in love with someone compared to the average person. This is Respawn on the Spectrum, and thank you for listening.